Welcome to Binge Watchers, where we talk about the stories and characters we love and the shows they live in. My name is Ron, and let's talk about Binge Watchers for a little bit. This is going to be like a channel update type video, so if that's the type of thing that you're interested in, stick around, and if not, we will be back to talking about TV shows in the next video. So the first thing, as you might have seen from the title of this video, is that Binge Watchers is now on Patreon, so if you want to support the channel and get access to some behind the scenes stuff, how I make my videos, some extra thoughts, stuff like that, that is now a thing you can do, so I'll link you that in the description down below. And I just want to remind everybody that the Discord server, the Binge Watchers Discord server, that is absolutely free. That has nothing to do with the Patreon, so everybody's welcome on there. And we just talk about TV, and it's a lot of fun, so you can also join that. So I know that a lot of you have joined the Binge Watchers community lately, and I wanted to give you some background on the channel and myself, and then eventually why I decided to put the channel up on Patreon as well. So I do get the question every now and then if I watch and review TV shows for a living, and as amazing as that would be, no, Binge Watchers is not my full-time job. I do have a full-time job in tech marketing. I work for a startup, and that is what I do most of my time, and I do Binge Watchers in my spare time. Binge Watchers originally started a few years ago as, well, first, I really like TV shows, and I really like long-form storytelling. It's kind of my favorite form of storytelling, and I used to watch TV shows all the time, and I wanted to feel productive while I was watching TV shows. So that was reason number one. And reason number two was that I've been into video ever since high school. So I've been into video and editing and shooting and all of that stuff for years. So I looked for a way to do something that I could do by myself so I wouldn't have to depend on anyone. Because I did used to do some sketch comedy stuff, which proved incredibly difficult to do. It was a lot of fun, but it took so much logistics and planning just to get one of these sketches off the ground, especially because for some reason I wanted to do them in English and I live in Israel. So I wanted to do something by myself, and that thing eventually became Binge Watchers, very much as a hobby, and it's still a hobby. And I know that by general YouTube standards, Binge Watchers is a very small, tiny channel, but it's already much bigger than I ever thought it would be, and I'm having so much fun doing this channel and talking about TV shows and engaging with this community that kind of popped up around the channel. And as I get more into it, and as I make more videos and I spend more time kind of working on the channel, I fall more in love with it, I think, and I would love to take it to the next level and do more shows on the channel and have more people on the channel and just do more things. But in order to do more things on the channel, you need the most important resource of all, which is time. And, well, time is money. So a certain amount of income frees up a certain amount of time to go and do stuff. So my first plan was to kind of work my way up to be able to do like brand deals and sponsored videos. And I did have some really interesting sponsors reach out to me, and even some brands that I reached out to and thought it might be fun to collaborate. But I found that I had some really weird experiences with those. The first type of sponsors that kind of reached out to me were just products that had nothing to do with the channel. So like the closest that we ever got was with like a t-shirt company, and I thought that was kind of cool because I love t-shirts, but that didn't end up working out. But it was all kinds of companies selling like hats or toys or things that I felt will be super kind of forced on the channel. The more interesting offers actually came from smaller streaming services. So I had several small streaming services that want to carve their own niche in like the Netflix and Amazon and Hulu world. Like, for example, a streaming service that only focuses on one genre or one type of show or movie or whatever. And I thought that was pretty cool because they would give me access to their platform. I would watch a few shows on it, and yeah, I'd talk about those shows, or maybe I'll include it in some list video, you know, whatever. And we were almost ready to go with this one service, and then all the caveats started popping up. I was on a call with this company, and then one of them said something about like, yes, once you post a positive review about a show that streams on our service. And I was like, yeah, I mean, positive if I end up liking the show, right? And they were like, well, wait. So I found out in a roundabout way that they don't want me to say anything negative about the shows that I am reviewing, so it would completely compromise the integrity of the channel. And also, if I wanted to do something like a top 5 show, whatever, like I wanted to do a top 5 non-English speaking shows, and 2 of those shows were supposed to be shows that are only streaming exclusively on that service, and I thought it was kind of like a great deal for everybody, because I'm talking about the shows I want to talk about and shows that I have watched and loved, and I'm also heavily mentioning those shows that are on that service, but they had none of that either. They didn't agree to me mentioning any other streaming service in the same video when I mentioned theirs, which to me just seemed like super closed-minded and weird, because they have to understand that for any of this to work, it has to be genuine. So anyway, needless to say, that fell through. I'm still planning on making that top 5 non-English speaking shows video. That's in the works, but I'm gonna talk about whatever shows I want. So similar things happened with a few other sponsors, and I quickly understood that this angle is not really gonna work. Like maybe someday when the channel is much bigger and I have more leverage from my end, but I never want to compromise the fact that at its core, Binge Watchers is about, you know, us sharing our opinions about these shows. So that's why eventually I decided to go in the footsteps of some of my favorite creators and the creators that I want to support, and open a Patreon for Binge Watchers. So at the end of the day, the purpose of the Binge Watchers Patreon is to help grow the channel and make the community bigger and stronger, and be able to do more things on the channel, like have more guests just talk about TV with me, or have different formats of shows. It is essentially about getting to a place where I can free up more of my time to work on Binge Watchers. And I hope this is obvious, and I know everybody says it on their Patreon videos, but I just wanna be super, super clear. Don't feel obligated in any way, shape, or form to contribute to the Binge Watchers Patreon. Everything here on the Binge Watchers channel, of course, remains free. And yeah, I just want to make sure that's clear. The Patreon is really for those of you who feel like they want to support the channel, or are interested in kind of learning a little bit more about the behind the scenes stuff and the process of making these videos, or maybe be a part of some like TV show club where we'll meet like once a month on a hangout and just discuss TV shows. So that's all I got. That's all I wanted to say. If you have any questions for me about TV shows, or about me, or about Patreon, or like whatever, anything at all, put them in the comments down below, and I'll either just answer them in the comments, or maybe I'll make like a Q&A video. Also, if there are other shows that you want me to talk about, put those in the comments as well. I'm actually rewatching season 1 of The Sopranos right now, and it's fascinating. It's fascinating to see how that show held up, you know, like the test of time. So there's gonna be a video about that pretty soon. I'm taking a break from Netflix for a little bit and moving to like HBO and Amazon and Hulu. I feel like I've been neglecting those platforms a little bit. Okay, rambling session over. Thank you so much for being a part of this community. Thank you for engaging in these discussions. I love it. It's so much fun. So keep binging, and I'll see you next time.